to keep using it. Number 3 is Sequalo. Simon can tell us more of him. He's showing at $22. He's from Melbourne.
Look, Sequalo's running in ripper form. His last run in the Newmarket was a ripper behind Brawny Spirit. He was only beaten ahead in that race. It is a quality sprint race. He's up here again in Sydney. It's his second trip up here. Charlie Weymouth, he's a shrewd trainer. The horse is in the family. Norman Weymouth to ride. Sequalo will give a good showing.
And number 4 is a horse a lot of punters are keen to back. He's won here at Randwick in the past, but he hails from Melbourne. His name's Gold Ace. It's a Group 1 race, and he's got the Group 1 trainer to train him, Lee Friedman. He'll be ridden by Stephen King.
He looks right on the ball, Gold Ace, and he ran a good race in the Newmarket. He came down the inside. All the first 3 place getters were down the outside on the straight 6 at Flemington. Gold Ace, that was considered a very good run. So Stephen King on board today and not Greg Hall, who is out suspended at the moment. A great show.
He's showing at $5.70, Gold Ace. Here's Carptingley showing just over $14. Carptingley hails from Adelaide. He's done a lot of racing in all over Australia, actually, Melbourne, Brisbane. He's a good, reliable horse. If luck breaks his way, Simon, he's got a chance.
Yeah, he's well travelled. I think just a little disappointing his last couple of starts. He'll sit back off the speed. He'll fan on the turn, and he'll really want to have that last crack at them.
There's Monopolise. Hasn't run for a while, but always goes well fresh. TAB number 6. He's showing $19.30 on the tote at the moment. Wayne Harris to ride him, and well, he might. He's a brother-in-law of the trainer, Graham Begg. Monopolise, as I said, goes well first up. And he's won 8 of his 20 starts. He's a pretty good horse. Number 7, Cut Up Rough, trained by Peter Hayes, is showing, he's a 20-to-1 chance on the tote. Cut Up Rough. I just don't know if he's going as good as he was 6 months back, Simon.
Yeah, maybe not. Still, his run in the Newmarket was a good one. Then I thought just he was that length or two under the real good sprinters. I think probably the Newmarket is a little stronger race than this one here today. So I put Cut Up Rough in with a good chance.
Number 8, Coburger. Hails from New Zealand. He's having his first run today for Lee Friedman, and on the tote, punters have left him alone. He's showing at $24, being a let around there. TAB number 8, Coburger.
Don't know enough about him. First time over from New Zealand, or could be a northern suburb of Melbourne, Coburg, and he's a Coburger.
But you'd know Coburg. That's where Pentridge is, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I live very close to there, and I might jump the wall one day. You never know, but not enough money to get me interested in him.
There in the cerise and blue colours with the white cap is TAB number 9, Drum. Another horse from the Lee Friedman stable. He's well represented here, showing at $22, and Drum 2 starts back won the Oakley Plate.
This 4-year-old's a son of Marauding. He ran a ripper race in the Oakley Plate. He can win a good race, so he's a horse to really take a good watch on.
I think number 11's got a good chance, and that's the one in the pink and white quarters, Sword, trained by one of our best trainers, Jack Denham, ridden by our best jockey, Darren Beedman. And if you like Sword's chances, you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that he's showing $13 on the tote. He looks well.
Yeah, he does look well. I think Jack would still be filthy with Volante, that I think in any other year, bar this one, he would have won the Derby and probably the Guineas. He hasn't. He's finished out of a placing in one and ran second and third in another, but Sword's in with a chance.
Following Sword there in the cerise colours, TAB number 11. There's a good head-on shot of the jockey, Brian York, a former New Zealander now based in Brisbane. An Identikit TAB number 11 is showing at $9 on the tote. A good second 2 starts back to Moss Rocket in the Star Kingdom Stakes. And then a last start winner of an easier race at Rose Hill. He's a chance.
Don't call it too easy. Elegance, who was in that, and we finished well back. Identikit from the John Hawkes stable. Never underestimate a Hawkes horse. There
in the black and white colours of Western Suburbs or of Collingwood, whichever code you follow, is Encores. Encores is a second stringer from the John Hawkes stable. He'll be ridden by Shane Dye. He'll get well back early over 1,100 metres, but he can find the line. Encores, number 12, is showing at $9.20 on the tote, surprisingly well in commission. There's Blazing Aspect from Melbourne. I think he's a good roughie, trained by Gerald Ryan in those bright green colours. He's showing at $29 on the tote.
Gerald Ryan's becoming a really super trainer in preparing his horses for these big races. The only problem with Blazing Aspect I see today, he's drawn barrier 16. It's going to have to be a mighty ride from Glenn Boss.
Well, he won the Doncaster on Sprint By, and I'm sure that Glenn will drop the horse out a little bit today and give him a chance to get over from the wide barrier. It's probably the only way to ride him. There's Pimpala Patch, the jockey, Christopher Muntz. Chris comes from Brisbane, based in Sydney these days. Pimpala Patch, a roughie, $95 on the tote.
Yeah, ring up, I'll hold your bet.
Number 15, Krista, is another 100-to-1 chance. Marlon Delendo, the rider, trained by Bob Thompson. She's got a bit of speed, but she'll get run over here. Number 16, Zedrich, big tip on course. Zedrich is showing at $14 on the tote, and a few Randwick trackmen think he can win. He's a son of Zeditive, Simon.
The son of Zeditive. sedative horses that are chestnuts all seem to look stunning, and Zedrich is just absolutely looking on fire today. Perfect in the coat, looks really well. Is hard enough, I think, to win this race. I don't know whether he's got the experience.
He's trained by Anthony Cummings, and he'll be ridden by John Marshall, who normally rides Anthony's horses. There they are. He's the last in the parade, Zedrich. There's the 3 emergencies. Garin, Spy, Jean and Space Moon were not required. Number 12 there was Encores, followed along by Blazing Aspect. By golly, you couldn't miss his colours. They're so bright, those lime with purple and gold braces. There again is Pimpala Patch, and she'll be followed along by Krista and Zedrich bringing up the trail. Good field for the Group 1 Galaxy Handicap, sponsored this year by Ansett. It's a Group 1 race. It's of $300,000, and the winner gets $204,000 of that. We'll be back to see it shortly on the Wide World of Sports. Okay, there's Moss Rocket, TAB number 1, favourite still on the tote, and he doesn't know how to run a bad race, Moss Rocket. Robert Thompson riding him. Robert's got a fabulous record as a jockey. He rides over 100 winners just about every year. He's ridden with success overseas in Hong Kong. He'll give Moss Rocket his chance. I think he might just settle him off the pace today and be ready to zip along when they straighten up. He's showing at $4.80, just getting out to $5. Legal Agent TAB number 2 at $15. Sequalo at $21. Gold Ace pressing for favouritism. He's exactly showing $5.20 at the moment, which I haven't got on the board. Carptingly at $13. Monopolise at $17. Cut Up Rough at $21. Coburger the Kiwi at $26. Drummers at $21. Sword at $13. I do think he's at good odds, Sword. Identic at $9. Encores $9.50, well in the market. Shane Dye the jockey. $26 for Blazing Aspect. TAB number 13. 100 to 1 Pimpala Patch. 100 to 1 Krista. Zedrich well in the market. I'll just have a double check there. Yeah, just at $13. Okay, they're the tote prices. Simon's here with me. Let's have a look at the field. Simon, what did you think of them when you saw them move out on the track? There's, incidentally, in centre screen, TAB number 11, which is identical from the John Hawkes stable.
Well, I think it's a ripper sprint field, Ken. You don't get many better horses than this here for a good race, and they're all here. They've come from Melbourne. Sequalo, Gold Ace, particularly Gold Ace. I thought he looked superb in the yard. Lee Friedman, look, he's just a great conditioner of horses for these big races. I give him an enormous show.
Okay, we just had a look there at one of the John Hawkes runners, Identikit. There's the other one, Encores, TAB number 12, Shane Dye to ride him. He's got a very, very good chance. Shane, incidentally, before he mounted Encores, discussed what tactics he'd need to win the Galaxy. Here's Shane.
Race 6, the Group 1 Galaxy Handicap, over 1,100 metres. It's very hard to win if you draw wide from the start because they go very fast in the Galaxy. It's near impossible. You always get caught 6 and 7 wide going round the first turn. It helps to draw in, there's no doubt, but with a lot of pace, a horse racing back in the field can normally win. Whatever you like, you go ahead and back because 10 chances in this race. I'm on a horse called Encores. He'll be finishing very, very strongly, but Moss Rocket's the one to beat.
Yeah, there's Encores there. Simon, as he told you, was pretty keen on Gold Ace. Harry Troy's over at the start. Harry, did you notice Gold Ace?
I certainly did, Ken, and he does look magnificent, the Victorian horse Gold Ace. A number of these horses do look very well. The New Zealand galloper Coburger, good raps about him. He looks well. Drum looks well. Your tip, Legal Agent, is just going by me now, Ken, and he does look in enormous condition. I'm going to stick with my old favourite, Moss Rocket. He looks tremendous. I think he looks as relaxed as I've seen him on a race day, and I'm going for him to get the cash. Probably the hardest to beat, I think, Gold Ace, and I'm putting the John Hawkes trained Identikit in for third. Good run behind Moss Rocket the other day. Looks the picture, 51.5, and Brian York, and those three will do me, mate. I'm going Moss Rocket, Gold Ace, and Identikit in a very difficult race.
Thanks, Harry. You just saw Larry Cassidy go past on Legal Agent with his whip in his mouth, and as he wiped a bit of the sweat off the neck. There is Sword, TAB number 10. Sword, Darren Beedman's mount, has got a good barrier 2, and as Shane mentioned, there's Shane with his whip in his mouth. as Shane mentioned in his tactics discussion, it's a big advantage from this 1100 metre start, particularly with such an even field. And Simon, they sure will skedaddle along in the early furlongs of the race.
It certainly will be. It'll be helter-skelter from the start. It's very hard to pick a leader out of them. They've all got their pace. I think a horse like Gold Ace will settle somewhere around midfield, possibly in the first half dozen. I definitely think he won't lead. Moss Rocket could be a horse that may go to the front. If something takes him on, it's going to be hard to finish off the race, especially when he's carrying 58 kilos.
Yeah, you get horses like Sequalo will go hard from wide out. You'd imagine he just knows the one way to race to go quickly. A couple of the roughies can go fast. Krista certainly can. Pimpala Patch on her day can. Legal Agent will be up there. Very smart field of sprinters. Blazing Aspect has got speed, but from barrier 16, I think Glenn Boss will ride him quietly and give him time to settle. There's Monopolise. He certainly hasn't got the pace to be up there, but he'll be coming into the race in the last section. Going past him is Identikit in the Cerise, TAB number 11. Wayne Harris, what a good big race record he's got. He's won Golden Slippers and Newmarkets and Melbourne Cups. He'll give the horse his chance. There's Blazing Aspect, like Simon, a visitor from the south. He's trained by Gerald Ryan. I thought he looked good in the enclosure, just a little bit on the toe, but I suppose you'd rather sprinters be ready for it, Simon.
Yes, I think it would. And look, Gerald Ryan is becoming more experienced, more astute. Every time he sends a horse out for a Group 1 race, I think he's got a great chance. He conditions his horses very well.
Super trainer, yep. I'm a big rap for Gerald Ryan. His son Blake, well, a little mate of mine, Blake Ryan, will be down there in Melbourne watching the show. This one might win for Dad, mate. Okay, that's Sword on the inside, talking to the jockey of Sword, Darren Beedman, talking to the jockey of Encores, Shane Dye. You can only just see Shane's white cap. Encores is in barrier 1, Sword in barrier 2, and that's Legal Agent in barrier 3. Okay, they're all there, or just about. Here's John Tapp to call the Galaxy of 96.
They face squarely. Pimpala Pat stands in nicely, so does Captain Lee. Gates open, they're off in the Galaxy. All very slow to move. Sword, he took a backward step and cut up rough as going straight back into the field. Krista was away brilliantly. Blazing Aspect as fast into stride. Sequalo wide out. Zed Rich and Legal Agent getting into a good spot, and Sword after that slow start showing amazing speed. Went straight up on the fence behind the leading division. Moss Rocket is easing back. He's out fairly deep. At the head of the others, cut up rough, and then Pimpala Patch. Identikit, Coburger can't get on the track. A mile back is Gold Ace with Captain Lee, Monopolised, Drummond. Encores is absolute last as they come around the corner. Into the straight, Sword with the inside running shares the lead with Blazing Aspect, 3 deep Sequalo, and then Zed Rich, Legal Agent on the fence, followed by Krista. Moss Rocket further out as they come over the rise, and then Gold Ace on top of the hill. Sequalo put his head in front of Blazing Aspect. Moss Rocket pounces. Moss Rocket takes the lead past the 200. Here comes Gold Ace. Gold Ace is after Moss Rocket. He's got him. Gold Ace sweeps to the lead to 100 metres out, and he is annihilating them. Gold Ace is racing away, and he bolts away with the Galaxy. Identikit got up for second. Third's very tight. Moss Rocket all Monopolised, which flew. And then Captain Lee Drum, Encores, was run off his feet, followed by Sequalo, Coburger, Legal Agent, Pimpala Patch, cut up rough, Sword, and then Krista and Zed Rich, and Blazing Aspect is weakened out of it to run last in the Ansett Australia Galaxy.
Well, just too good, Gold Ace. A top horse, another 3-year-old in this vintage 3-year-old year. As we pick them up, Gold Ace widest out is just getting past Moss Rocket in the black cap, and that's Identikit in the Cerise getting up inside Moss Rocket to actually run second. Number 4 first will pay $4.90 the win and $2.20 the place. You'll find that second will be number 11, Identikit, will pay $2.90, and number 1, Moss Rocket, has just hung on for third. He'll pay $2.40. Gold Ace clear there of Moss Rocket. Identikit getting up inside of him, and then down the outside, Steve's Monopolised. Carptingly in the yellow colours. Drum, another Freedman runner, coming there in the Cerise with the white cap, and he's probably got up to run 5th. Carptingly has actually just run 5th ahead of Drum. There's a head-on. Moss Rocket in the orange-green sleeves, going to the front there, the Chestnut with the black cap. Inside of him in the Cerise with the Cerise blinkers is Identikit. And then widest out there, you can see Monopolised in the red cap, and outside of him is the winner, Gold Ace, ridden by Stephen King, down the extreme outside. Well, he killed him. He was far too good, and he's paid $4.90. Simon, you give a bit of a cheer then.
Yeah, I did give him a bit of a cheer. He had my heart earned on him, and what a ripper ride from Stephen King. Congratulations to the whole stable. Bob Scarborough and his wife who own the horse. He's a lovely fellow at Woodnook Farm up at Ngambie in Victoria. He'll be thrilled, especially after the Newmarket. That was a disappointment, but this horse has really made up for it today. A patient ride from Stephen King, a class racehorse.
Yeah, it sure is a class racehorse, Gold Ace. He's now had 12 starts for 6 wins, 3 seconds and a third. He was ridden by Stephen King. I think Harry Troy might have caught up with Stephen by now. Come in, Harry.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. I've got Stephen King with me here. Well, Stephen was victorious here on Saturday on Eureka Jewel, and he's backed up today to take out the Galaxy on this smart horse, Gold Ace.
Yeah, he really raced well today. Lead time and riding quiet, and that's one good thing about riding for blokes like Lee Freeman. They know their horses really well.
That's right, mate. And you sounded like you had a lovely run in the race, but I was surprised with the ease at which he gathered them in when he straightened up.
Yeah, well, I think he's an outstanding horse. He should have won a Newmarket last start, so it was a nice day out for him today.
Good on you, mate. Well, I'll leave you now to enjoy the moment. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Yes, he had another gear, Gold Ace, and that gear was when he produced top speed, he was just too good. Ian Maurice is back in the studio. He's got a sports update for us.
Okay, Ken, thank you very much. Now, there's just one AFL match left. This is the running of the Stawell Gift. South Australia's Stephen Hutton was the fastest qualifier for today's final. Here's what happened.
No problems this time. Turnbull got away to a beautiful start. Derek Meredith in the pink going very nicely. Look at Dale Sears coming through. Hutton on the inside. He's got to make up a metre. Still in front, it's Meredith coming through in the middle. Turnbull, but Hutton's done it, I think.
In the women's 400-metre race, Kathy Freeman started off scratch and gave the front runner a 42-metre start, but still mowed down the field.
She goes past Tomsett. She's going to win it, I think, easily, in fact. Lewis gives her a shove. Kathy Freeman now has got to catch Shani Coots. She grits hard. Kathy Freeman, she does it. Freeman by half a metre.
Terrific performance from Kathy, from some of the fastest on 2 legs to their equine counterparts. We take a look at the closing stages of today's feature race from Randwick, the AJC Sires Produce Stakes.
Merlene on the fence, waiting for a run as they come over the rise, followed by My Duke, and then Victory Dash on top of the hill. It's into Gaze, Dashing Eagle. There's a split now for Merlene. Victory Dash on the outside, running a big race. Zaya coming through near the fence, but Merlene burst to the lead. 100 out is clear of Victory Dash, and Clang is charging along the rail, but the little Danehill filly, Merlene, is going to do it again, and Merlene, too strong, wins the Sires over Clang. My Duke got going again to run third.
Now at Oak Bank, the Great Eastern Steeplechase has been run and won. Here are the closing stages.
Well, he's doing it very easily indeed. He's 4 or 5 in front of the stablemate Denali. The interest is going to be in the Miners. A great battle here ensuing between McNaught and on the inside Impulsive Risk, but the favourite has won, as most people thought he'd do. And Light Hand Cruiser to the line to score by about 8 lengths. Second placing has gone to Denali. About 9 or 10 third. Impulsive Risk got there for third. McNaught.
In surfing, Australia's Pauline Mensah has won the women's final at Bells Beach. Mensah led world champion Lisa Anderson throughout, but the final margin was just half a point. It was Mensah's 3rd Bells Beach title in 6 years, the 4th.
I wouldn't be worried too much.
And I think what I'll do at this Easter sale now is I'll just buy a horse better than Octagonal, and then we'll have another world record. But Ken, haven't we seen some fantastic racing the last few days?
We sure have, Simon. It's been a sensational weekend. Lee Freeman was the star of today. 2 Group 1 wins, and there's the TAB dividends. 4 Gold Ace paid $4.90 and $2.20. Second was number 11 Identikit. Is that $2.80 or $2.90 there, Simon?
$2.90.
$2.90 and $2.40 for third for TAB number 1 Moss Rocket. But Lee Freeman the star, along with Merlene and Gold Ace.
Yes, no, it's been a fantastic weekend of racing here, and we can see Gold Ace. He's now got his sash over him. He's absolutely a perfect horse in a sprint race. They've had some problems with his legs, but he's spot on now. And Ken, it's time for us to go and just have a quiet one. It's been a pretty hard day. We'll be back with a lot more racing from Randwick next week. It's been great being with you. Join us next week. Bye for now.
See them trying every way they know how to make their spirit fly. Can't you see him? He's down on the ground. It's a broken wing, looking all around. That's the way it's gonna be, little darling. You go riding on the horses, yeah, yeah. Way up
another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.